Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a tie and I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, Nixie Rastafari. War and cry. righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah.
Jah
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, save all people.
And we love Jah. We love Jah.
Jah
We love
Rastafari,
Jah.
Jah Rastafari, save all people.
Put time away again. Listen,
Yeah!
just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we are penalized. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and
Fight down war and fight.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah.
Jah
And we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all
And we love Jah.
Jah
Me love Jah.
Jah
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all
Me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari,
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
Good morning, globalists. Good morning and welcome. Sorry I didn't turn up last night. Never really feel in the mood. My computer is giving problem because my slideshow not working this morning. The slide that I prepared for this morning, it's not loading up to the system. Don't know why, but we'll work with what we have. Episode 4 has dropped. And I think there's going to be a part 2 to episode 4, if I understand Dr. Dawes properly. But we're going to go to episode 4 because, we want to keep it at the front of the program. Then we'll totter on to the rest of what we come here about this morning. And please prepare to step on your big toes and bite your big fingers this morning, because we're going to respond to the Prime Minister. And we cannot respond to the Prime Minister if we don't hear the gibberish that sputter out of the Prime Minister's mouth, because I literally struggle to understand what the dickens he was saying. So prepare to bite your big finger and step on your big toe. When we grow up and I know how when you see dopey where you fiddle, that's what we're going to do this morning. To my community of parity, wielding over and still bawling from the effects of Melissa, and all my moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Lovely to have you all here. Hit the like button for us, please, so we can chat along and get on with it. Miss Jam Upton, how you do? Is it Desroy, Stanley, Lynette Jenkins, Jam Rocket 766, Raymond, Debbie Jervis TV, Laverne, Lynette Jenkins, Suzette Williams, Barbara Simpson, Vernon Adams, Millie McBean, Lorraine Smichaels, Karen Nemard, Joan Bailey, Marjorie Lewis. Who else is here? Good morning, everyone. We're going to go straight to episode 4. Opal Watson, good morning and welcome. We're going to go straight to episode 4, Keeping Up with the Crisis. And after we go to Keeping Up with the Crisis, then be prepared to step on your big toes and bite your big finger, because you will see a ghost this morning. Let's listen to episode 4 Gilroy, morning. All right, Guilfoy. Episode 4 deals with the Manchester boys. The Manchester boys are Christopher Tufton and his classmate, the hatchet, the butcher, the general of the abattoir called Bruce. You may want to ask Reverend Patrick Allen about how he was chopped and hacked by the Manchester boys. Miranda Roddock, morning.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alfred Dawes, and this is UC on Life Support. So far in this series, we have been looking at the problems that have plagued the University Hospital of the West Indies, problems that have been highlighted by the recently concluded Auditor General's report, problems with the management of the institution, issues with procurement irregularities that have resulted in the loss of tax revenue, as well as $500 million unaccounted for by paperwork associated with the procurement process. To understand how we got here, we have to take a step back to 2 years ago to look what happened to culminate in this current management system that is overseen by a CEO that was not considered initially by the board that was fired by the Minister of Health. On December 7, 2023, after meeting with the board, the health minister announced that he was dissolving the UHWI board, citing a clash of personalities and levels of dysfunctionality. The move followed the resignation of the board chairman, Wayne Chai Chung, effective December 4, 2023. But that is only the ministry's version of events. The former chairman publicly rejected the claim that the board was dysfunctional and instead accused the minister of ministerial interference and overreach in the work of the hospital board, particularly around the recruitment of a new CEO. According to Chai Chung's account, the board had embarked on a global search for a modern professional CEO for the UHWI. Over 30 qualified individuals were shortlisted, interviewed, and rigorously assessed. From that pool, the board selected a highly experienced candidate from the United Kingdom, a world-class CEO who specialized in turning around complex hospital systems. The now CEO, although he was not qualified nor shortlisted, he was given the courtesy of an interview, one he unfortunately failed. The selected candidate flew to Jamaica on a familiarization visit. When she requested a meeting with a senior member of staff at the university hospital, she was snubbed. Staff recount that a senior director refused to meet her at the initial set of meetings arranged, sending a clear signal that she was not welcome. The minister, by some accounts, met with her, but that meeting was not friendly. The result of those meetings was that the potential candidate turned down the offer, as it was clear to her that neither of these key officials were welcoming her for her professional management skills at the University Hospital of the West Indies. The board's effort to bring in an independent CEO with no political baggage was effectively sabotaged from within. Chai Chung has said that the board was pressing ahead with many key reforms, implementing a hospital management information system, tightening oversight of purchasing, and insisting on a transparent and merit-based process to select a CEO who reported to the board, not to the minister. The ministry, meanwhile, rolled out its own language about a governance reset and a new look for the board, that should supposedly realign the UHWI. But as the months unfolded, it became clear that the minister's objective was less about strengthening independent governance and more about consolidating control. They had believed that they were selected on the board to solve long-standing governance problems at the UHWI, including the issues that existed in the procurement department. Instead, they found themselves pushed aside whenever reform threatened entrenched interests. They resigned on principle rather than preside over what they saw as political interference masquerading as reform. Within days, the minister dissolved the entire board and a promise to install a new one, eventually chaired by a retired banker, along with a new CEO, saying this would realign the institution and improve governance. The acting CEO at the time, even though he was not qualified to be shortlisted for interviews, he was selected to be confirmed as the CEO to run the hospital. He presided over the period in question that the Auditor General reviewed and found serious procurement breaches and that the staff complained of management issues that affected not just their own morale, but their ability to deliver holistic patient care. The Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has survived many scandals. From as far back as 2008, 2009, there was a fertilizer import scandal where low-cost fertilizer imports raised questions about quality and safety. Dr. Tufton, then the Minister of Agriculture, defended them as tested and safe despite public concerns. Between 2009 and 2011, the sugar industry divestment. The divestment process drew backlash over whether the estates were undervalued and how workers were treated. Issues were raised about transparency and long-term planning. In 2016, toxic fumes forced the closure of key areas of the Cornwall Regional Hospital. 9 years later, rehabilitation works remain incomplete with ballooning costs and repeated missed deadlines. This is a symbol of chronic mismanagement and a failure to deliver. $24 billion later, after an initial estimate of $2 billion, we are still without a functioning Cornwall Regional Hospital, a hospital where up to recently, doctors and nurses have staged protests about their working conditions. Between 2017 and 2021, the Jamaica Moves campaign came under scrutiny by the Integrity Commission. The IC found procurement breaches in 15 contracts worth $78.6 million.
Well, on the daytime, Campbell, I know you're busy. But look how Flight Green are going. You don't have nothing to expose about Flight Green. You don't do no research to see how Flight... Hey, daytime, Campbell, I know you're busy, you know. But aren't you an ambidextrous doctor, agriculture farmer, and a legal scholar as well? So you can do many things at the same time. You don't have to bog down by hurricane. Look how Flight Green are gone. And we don't hear about you and, hey, murder.
All awarded using direct contracting. And they concluded that the minister's role created a perceived advancement of private interest for Market Me Consulting. Funeral home operators expressed concern that contracts were being taken away from existing providers and given to Archer's Funeral Home for the storage of bodies outside of the Kingston and St. Andrew region. Taking bodies from KPH and storing them in Spanish Town at the funeral home owned by a JLP councillor in the Minister of Health's constituency did not sit well with the Jamaican public. This prompted allegations of political favoritism that the minister has repeatedly denied. In 2022, Blue Zone, a company that is owned by the Minister of Health, imported rice that was found to be below the standard grading of the Bureau of Standards. Yet, the National Compliance and Regulatory Authority cleared it the same day. The brief that we have looked at notes a serious conflict of interest and regulatory leniency. No one can explain to this day why a rice would be exempted from the usual scrutiny that other importers face. To this day, nobody has given a satisfactory explanation as to rice labeled by the Bureau of Standards Jamaica as not meeting the classification and the standards it set out was taken off the ports and distributed to an unsuspecting public. Neonatal deaths at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital have continued to embarrass the Ministry of Health. In 2022, 11 babies died in a Klebsiella outbreak, followed by 24 newborn deaths in 24 days in 2025. The minister repeatedly avoided directly answering in Parliament when asked when he first knew about the deaths in 2022. And in 2025, it was just dismissed as babies being premature. Despite the multiple reports across Jamaica, reports that still haunt many to this day, that oxygen ran out, the Ministry of Health has refused to accept responsibility for not ordering enough oxygen from the suppliers. Many patients had worse outcomes. Many persons died. Add to all of this the $31 million neurosurgical drill, a Medtronic EM800 procured for the Bustamante Hospital for Children, where I would have pointed out at the time that comparable drills are listed internationally at around $3 to $5 million. The Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, approved the $31 million purchase, and court filings later showed that the ministry itself was the importer, saving that company millions of dollars in duty. Yet, that role was never clearly disclosed in public statements. Now, in 2026, the Auditor General finds that at the University Hospital of the West Indies, under the ministry's watch, 51 contracts worth $500 million have no procurement records, and that the hospital's tax-exempt status was misused to import goods for private entities. Different scandals, same minister, same themes, overpricing, conflicts of interest, weak documentation, and a refusal to answer straight questions. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. for part 2, where we delve deeper into how this affects the operation of the UHWI and the staff. I am Dr. Alfred Dawes, and this has been UC on Life Support.
Only God knows how Dr. Tufton survived so many scandals. And one would be of the belief or something that Dr. Tufton, or Tufton with the DR title, would have had some dead man trigger on Andrew Holness. Why Andrew Holness have to keep Chris Tufton continuing to kill we off, a plethora of corruption and everything. Let me just flat green people them. Globalists, anyone on an agenda Facebook page yet? Can you please give me support on this Facebook page, please? To the labor rights. There's a writing right there with the profile picture for them. Big writing in black says War Room in red background. Now, you would remember the Prime Minister declared war on us. Information war, I take it, maybe subliminally, physical violence as well may also be involved in the war the Prime Minister declared on us. It would be utterly foolish of myself not to have my own war apparatus in the information war that we are in with the government. So this page, as you see, it says War Room. That's what this page is dedicated to. So if you don't come over here to defend Floyd Green and Andrew Holness, and you bring a NIMBYize feeling with you, be prepared to meet with verbal violence when you come to this stage. When you come to this stage, and I'm speaking particular to this young man, you see, when me put up something on my page, when I often come on and say, well, I have to say, draw me, madam, do anything I want to do. And I really answer no. When I not go under me comment, really. Because not really business what I want to do. I go on want irritate no me answer no. But you see, when I come in on my inbox, that's a totally different hoobah. I'm not into any private war or any inbox war with any labor rights around here. So you're coming on my inbox for war, young man, I'm going to put you out on my page. Deal with it. All right? Otherwise, leave me alone. You can go on my page and comment, fine. Don't come in my inbox. My inbox is a personal space. It's a private space. Okay? Take what you get. All right. Because we know most of you can't read. So when we see the big war room and don't know where it be or not understand where it be. So I have to tell you out of my mouth so that you understand. So when you come at this page, you're going to meet verbal violence. Or don't come. Don't come. Or be prepared to meet verbal violence, the big war room in front of you. And you choose to come in my inbox, a defense Floyd Green. And the thing that irritates me why I put him up, because the post that he reacted to, the post that irritated him, had nothing to do with bigger than death. But I hit him coming on my inbox a war about me attack Floyd Green, becoming upset about bigger than death. Even if that was the case, so what? Even if that was the case, so what? But the thing that he was responding to is the 870 million. And that him I respond to, and rather him keep it to that, him coming on my inbox about bigger than. So I put him up. So I don't know why he might ring up himself and try yourself up, young man. All right? Anyway, I want to ask the Prime Minister a question because, we don't have that slide, we don't have that picture, but there is, let me see, I did post it on my Facebook page. Let me see if I can. Prime Minister, that picture, yeah. CARICOM under US pressure, deportation agreement ignite regional debate as Prime Minister Terence Dew warns of visa restriction and banking sanctions in Caribbean states if Caribbean states refuse to comply with Trump deportation rules. And that rule is to accept third deportee as third country. To accept deportee as third country. I never even realized I never have this in this slot where me I show no. Because I want Andrew Holness to see what me I talk about. Has any of these conversation, Prime Minister, with yourself and the United States? We need to ask Andrew this question, and we need an answer from Andrew. Have the US asked that Jamaica be a third country accepting random deportation from the United States? I don't hear us as Jamaicans because we see other countries going into that partnership with Trump, or Trump is ordering them to or putting pressure on them. I think we need to, given that the Prime Minister has been having this conversation with Marco, he's been having this conversation that we don't know what they're about with Pete Heggist, Under Secretary. I think it is high time we ask the Prime Minister this question, and I think one of the journalists in Jamaica who gets the opportunity at the press conference must put this question in the press conference, because we need to know, because all of these talks that have been going on between Andrew Holness and the Americans, we really don't know what they're about. We literally have no idea what they're about. So we want to know if the US is putting pressure on Jamaica as well to take deportees. And please, globalists, follow this Facebook page for me, please. It's Forbes GTV Antonio. It's easy to find. It a kick up trouble out there already, and the labor right them are going with themselves. So when I come over there, come give me some support over Facebook. But it get to the point now where you're going to need to start. No, we're going to parity first. We're going to parity first before we get into the mood of stepping on your toes and biting your fingers. Because
for urgent help from
I don't know how it going on a sit up here. Hold on. I need to get this off. Come on, thingy.
St. Elizabeth.
Yes, come off. Now, to parity.
For urgent help from a St. Elizabeth community whose residents mostly earned from the sea. Krista Campbell tells us why.
But see, Melissa take everything from we. Nothing we have, nothing we look for.
And driving around the St. Elizabeth community of Parity, the devastation is undeniable.
We live in Jamaica, but Parity here feel like Haiti. Everything is flat. It's a disaster. Right now, if you check the barrel, them 4 weeks, me not have bathing or drinking water. Don't watch how me bathe.
Amidst the rubble, the remains of the people's livelihood and reminders of monies they say they cannot get back and are unable to make. In the seaside community, there's been no fishing or vending for those who usually sell in the Black River Fish Market since October 28, 2025.
They have 5 fridge with fish. It turn them over me if it dash way and give with them. Over $4 million worth. So all of me fridge them mash up, all of me igloo them gone. And make one trench through my house when me drop in a nearly John. See me fridge them there and me igloo them wash way. Me scale, me knife, everything. Me bury me apron. Gone. See the fridge them there, sir. See them there. See them there. Them no good again. Even me storing here. See it there, as you can see. Everything are gone. And I don't have no money to pay the fisherman because they give an account say, then give us the fish before the hurricane. So they need them money. At least 2,000 pounds worth of fish are gone.
See, enough people here lose a lot of fish trap. A lot of people lose them boat. Me lose all my car right now. I see a bicycle me depend, but yes, that's another story. But we need to get back on our foot. We need boat, engine, and wire, patic, and rope. We don't want no money from Jamaica. We want assistance to buy the fishing chop. If we no can bring the fishing chop or bring even the rope or wire, we really appreciate it.
Residents say it's taking a toll on some more than others.
Tired of eating tin food. Nothing coming in. The little me save. Actually, if I go to school start, I have to send my grandpicnic to school because his mother dead. I am a single mother, one going to college, and she going to Black River Primary School. No income coming. So it's God, good grace and mercy. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to lose my mind. Me see double vision. Me sleep and me not sleep. When me eat, it come like one spoon full my belly. But because of what we are go through. I mean, it's an independent girl, you know, sir, hardworking. Me not depend on people. Me like work for my own.
But in the darkness of their despair shines optimism.
Because everyone I'm on them fishing vessel in party destroy. And if boat come at Black River, if one of your vendor got current and call you for your £50, as you go in a supermarket and buy little nicks, we get food from people, you know, but you know something where your house need, you still have to go there and buy it. And trust me, it's traumatizing for everybody. Everybody. We don't know when, but with God's mercy, we know one day, He might go put you back on foot.
Krista Campbell.
I didn't even realize that this was muted. Why is it that party people refuse to call out Floyd Green and speak to exactly what is happening? God will put us back on our... How God gets in at this? How God gets in at this? Why don't call out Floyd Green? No, to the sun issue. Me hear the Black River police say, them though aware of the sun galanging where truck and bulldozer and then something there come load up. But me tell you how close to the Black River station, to the Black River police station, it's actually happening. There's a place next to there's a little family community next to the bridge what we call Heavy Sun. Heavy Sun are right out there so at the mouth, at the river and the sea. Out of Heavy Sun are where the sea and the river meets, like a violent part there so. The sun begin with chalk and grader. They are Heavy Sun. Heavy Sun is about 1,000 meters. Both run 100 meters. So times that by 10, 1,000 meters from the Black River police station. Less than 10 minutes walk or 10 minutes walk. So we walk and draw foot down there. We took about 10 minutes from over the town to go by Heavy Sun. That's how close. No, let's leave out upper parity out of it. With a little bit further from Ono. It is going on right at Heavy Sun, Black River Police. Heavy Sun is about 10 minutes walk from the Black River Police Station. So how Ono don't know about it? When we are walk and search people house without warrant. When we are walk and shoot people, children, and I tell lie. Right side down on the sun a draw away at night time. So when you catch up in a guard room at night time or another rum bar at night time, that's so close to Black River Police Station, and you don't see the activities. But you not go investigate. This is why party people need to speak up. There are a lot of issues environmentally, infrastructure-wise that is affecting the community that the government can do something about. The people are not speaking up and it is becoming problematic because even the dumping up of the road that Floyd Green and him people them have done, because them do it slapdash and the community look like they never talk to them or whatever. When we had that experience in 1986, when them are repump back the breakaway, because it's the second time we had that breakaway where the pond and the sea meets. In 1986, it was just a flood. It was heavy rainfall and the water saturation and everything I bust out. When they were packing it back, because it's a deep trench, what happened? They bring a lot of stones, big stones. Some of the stone them that came at the time, 2 stone in a one truck. That's how big the stone them was. That's how big the stone them was. From my understanding, that hasn't been done this time. And because of the land saturation, because when the tide is high at full moon or in the evening, because of the amount of sand that has been pushed away from the sea and from the coastline onto the road or in the mangrove, it left the coastline much flatter than it used to. It's the government duty environmentally to deal with the issue of the land by getting the sand back towards the sea, where it helps to become a buffer to high tide. If that buffer is not there, we're going to have that almost on a daily, regular basis. All right, Sharon Walton, when know the area well, police the area for years, is saying 5 minutes walk from the town to heavy sand. So me even give men to them more time, and them say them no know about it. So when them sit down a Black River police, what Black River police them a do a night time? When Black River police a do a night time, that son of mine 5 minutes from Uno, I don't know about it. And then Uno, what I do? What we pay on for? But if that sand is not put back as a buffer, that problem is going to become regularized, which is going to be the government's environmental law or environmental regulation in his relocation, that we keep hearing that word spinning, spinning, and spinning. So you understand why nothing has been done, or why there isn't an interest to have something done. But the people need to stop protect Floyd Green and speak up. Stop protecting your elected official and demand the assistance that would allow you to stay on the coastline and help to continue to rebuild on yourself. But for now, everybody protect Floyd Green. Floyd Green has only trucked water to the community once, from my understanding. Once. Floyd Green told us in the press conference. In a press conference about, this was early December, because he told us the cleanup that Myrna's son organized happened on the 30th of November. That was a Sunday. And then he came to press briefing, I think Monday or Tuesday morning. And that's when he gave us that information, very early in December. Floyd Green said he'd spoken with people within the mining community, and he's going to send some trucks in Parity this week to do the cleaning up of the beach. To my understanding as well, that still has not happened. The road, the water, don't even talk about lights, because we're not up on the light radar, so don't even talk about them something there. Don't even talk about them something there, because we're not upon the light radar for now. We don't know when we are going to go upon it. But the people is becoming their own problem. Party people are no problem. Party people were selling themselves to fly green cheap and short. Are the problem. Party people were shame that were telling you what was to come. Choose Jamaica, choose JLP, and see they know. All gone in a silence. Need to stand up for yourself. Ridge is not the younger person in the community. If the community don't unite and focus on what the community want, we're going to lose it. If we continue to be Labour Right and PNP in a parity, we're going to lose it. If we don't become parity people, if we don't become parity people and drop the Labour Right and PNP bullshit and unite for the cause of keeping that community where all of these dead people from we great grandmother them, where we still have them tomb there with we, even though Melissa try to take away some, these people are going to punish we if we make government and them friend them, buck off them tomb or do whatever with them after what them Melissa do with it. Because we have all our ancestors them right on the coastline there with we. We are parroting a burial cemetery. We are parity are ongo if you act too bossy, which is not a lot. You may bury a cemetery. Party people don't bury a cemetery. All our father, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, great-grandfather, all of them are in our yard right on the coastline. There's some of them with tomb or some without. They're all there. So we have a lot to fight for. The government knows that this land was handed down to us. The government knows that this generational wealth is a piece of rich real estate that we, the descendant of the slaves, got from our ancestors. And the oldness went all across the world. Dubai, Saudi Arabia, all sort and take investment fee. And you go South Africa go tell them say Jamaica ripe for investment after they just liquid on a dot. Buy to no big finger now. Buy to no big finger. It will go down, you know. It is going to go down this morning. We're going to look at Duppy this man. So no say. In a Phoebe folklore, when you see Duppy, bite your big finger or tap on your big toe. So we're going to see Duppy now. Right. We're going to go to Andrew Holden. So we're going to have two sharp scratch. One of the scratch will be sharper than the other, but God Almighty, we have to scratch you this morning because I don't know what he was talking about, literally. But I have to respond to him.
Era of...
I'm not ready for you yet. Give me the other one first. Give me the big fool first. Big and good for nothing fool.
What else?
Big and good for nothing fool. Make the big and good for nothing fool talk. Why you really big and good for nothing? You're really big and good for nothing. Useful idiot.
What has happened in the past, what has happened now. The management of Jamaica's fiscal affairs today is far superior than anything that we have experienced before in the past. Now, at the regional and international insurance level, Jamaica received 91 million US dollars from the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, one of the largest payouts ever made in the region. And our US 150 million catastrophe bond was triggered automatically based on parametric thresholds, delivering liquidity without delay, negotiation, or conditionality. At the contingent credit level, we had US $285 million available through the Inter-American Development Bank's contingent credit facility, which was swiftly upside to $300 million. We had US $42 million scalable to US $84 million available under the World Bank's catastrophe deferred drawdown option. So taken together, this meant that Jamaica had approximately US $662 million in liquidity available almost immediately following the hurricane. You have to ask yourself, why did we have this? It was not an automatic thing that happens each time or for every country that has a hurricane. All of these were pre-arranged. It was planned, put in place to finally, once and for all, acknowledge that Jamaica is going to be hit by a shock, an exogenous event over which we have no control. But that is not an excuse. That has been the cycle in which we have been caught up for the last 50 years. Each time that we are hit by a shock, we are not prepared. And then we blame the shock. The difference with this government is that we don't blame shocks. We don't blame external events. We don't blame external powers. We take responsibility and we put measures in place. That's the difference. We don't look at the rain and ask it, why is it raining? We don't look at the hurricane and say, why did you come? We don't argue with nature. We prepare for nature, for politics, for economics, and we work for peace.
Don't know what he meant by that. But let me respond to an admission from the Prime Minister. It was all a plan. The big insurance was set up before we create the hurricane on a liquid out. Thanks for admitting that. The first sentence, though, Prime Minister. Boss Liberty this morning. Prime Minister, the first sentence. They could play the first sentence again, because most globalists miss it. They miss it. I must say Miranda one a Miranda thing alone. Pick up. We're going to play just the first sentence. Because that may come for respond about this morning in this video. Yeah.
What has happened in the past, what has happened now. The management of Jamaica's fiscal affairs today is far superior than anything that we have experienced before in the past. Now,
that, hey, this comes from Andrew Holness, who for 5 years have not had his statutory declaration certified. A prime minister under the investigation for illicit enrichment. A prime minister with billions missing from the health department, billions from the agriculture department, mismanagement here, mismanagement there, billions from the Ministry of Local Government, billions from Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Prime Minister, should we continue? That's the superior fiscal affair, Prime Minister. Superior thieves, superior swindlers, superior criminals, superior fraudsters. That's what we are getting. Andrew Holness, can you come back and admit to that? Because it's not superior management. You just have to read the Auditor General's reports. You cannot read the Auditor General report, Andrew Holness, and speak such bullshit to mic and camera. Can we attack, There's a difference in speaking to us and speaking to mic and camera. Two different things, Andrew Holness. So, me no see a mic and camera you talk to, but me have to respond. Globalist it a go get worse, you know. He had worse. Hey, see that, you know, he actually had worse to say. Me not even know if me go play the whole, the next video, because to say, I just want little part, but it's important for him run him out. 'Cause you know when he run him out, he always get himself in a catawire with me. It's good when you allow him to run him out sometime. Run your mouth, PM. PM come run your mouth. PM, come run your mouth, yeah. When you say your mouth slimy and it just a dribble stuff. Run your mouth, PM, run your mouth.
Era of geopolitics. The old era, which some people are still stuck in, and how they see the world and how they expect the world to respond to them, could not survive in today's world.
Now, let me respond to this bit. Don't know what he's talking about the old era and the new era of geopolitics. The old era of geopolitics, Andrew Holness, which was the era of geopolitics after World War II, Prime Minister, that carried us up to Donald Trump, second term. It is the appearance of Donald Trump, the old geopolitics from 1945 to the second coming of Donald Trump has changed, and we have reverted back, Andrew Holness, prior to 1945 gunboat geopolitics diplomacy. So in what you are saying, I struggle to understand what you're talking about, because the new geopolitics is the gunboat before World War II. So we don't understand this here. Anyway, run your mouth. Run your mouth. I mean, tell you something, when you run your mouth, you're getting a problem and you're not listen. How do you speak me?
Era of geopolitics. The old era, which some people are still stuck in, and how they see the world and how they expect the world to respond to them, could not survive in today's world. And we have to establish that clearly. I hear the commentators, many of them seem to be stuck in an era where they believe the world owes them something.
But Prime Minister, are you talking about geopolitics or local politics? I'm confused here as to how your conversation is referring to geopolitics, but it's been the local issues at home you are referring to. This is my confusion. Anyway, that's what Andrew Holness regularly brings. So, I know nothing new.
You have to be able to find your way in the world.
Okay, is there a particular direction you decide to walk, fly, creep, or crawl? There is if you're prepared to find your way, Prime Minister, there ought to be a direction, is it not? Talk out of your drivel.
You have to be able to find the opportunities, mitigate the threats. There is a generation that still thinks about political independence. What I'm struggling for is Jamaica's economic independence.
Baps, Urella, that's all me want you. Jamaica's economic independence. He said it. Jamaica's economic independence. Boy, he says so. I don't think he knew what he meant by saying that. I don't know what he meant by saying that. And I'm left confused to just flutter about what the fool has said. But for a prime minister, behind our back, who have just went halfway across the world, borrow $6.7 billion US pass way back. After the prime minister take with insurance money lend JPS and the rest of it in take him and Darrell Vaz give Jacqueline Lecker for do whatever they want to do with it. The borrowing prime minister is talking about economic independence. I don't know how these things work, nor do I know how this prime minister mindset works. When you can borrow and have the strength to mention the word economic independence. Prime Minister, do you realize that your government have destroyed agriculture in our country? Do you realize that our mining, Prime Minister, is being given away in our country? Do you understand the destruction of fisheries around the coastline of Jamaica because of the drilling, Prime Minister? And you're talking about economic independence to beg and borrow, Prime Minister? Hey, Murdo, he said economic independence. Why? My understanding from the Prime Minister in his flattery, economic independence for the Prime Minister means I get the money to borrow at a lower interest rate. I kid you not. And we're going to listen to the rest of the bullshit. I mean, he served it up to us on a plate. You couldn't make it up. Economic independence and borrowing in the same sentence. Prime Minister, there are dons and there are dons, but there are dons.
You can talk all you want about your political independence. At some point, you have to be able to back it up with your economic independence.
Sir, you have it wrong. Bomber blood clot we are on. Sorry, globalists, but this part irritates me. Without the political will, Prime Minister, you'll never gain economic independence. Tap the cat pulling horse, freakery, and so it go. Because at the moment, with economic disaster where we have, it's because the lacking of political independence, we have always been tied to the Americans and the IMF. That's what took our political independence away. We can't make no decision upon we own because this is why you don't want political independence, because you want to walk on bar of a thief. We have to have the political independence first, but we have the political will. Look at Abraham Traore. It's political independence create the economic independence in Burkina Faso. You idiot piece of bullshit. Beg your pardon, globalists, but this piece of filth have a way of speaking to us like we did not go to school. Prime Minister, I studied up to a master's degree. I sure you don't do an honest study. You buy your way and you thief your way through life. I find you're a young boy, you do it. So don't go on like we done around here because you have one walk and beg title, convertible title where you study for the DR title where you catch up and everybody has to call you. You never study for it. R.G. Marks Lobby, Delaware State University for you get it. No Jamaica University. Jamaica University look on Bobby Montague and give him a doctorate and never give you. Drunk crop. That's how them not recognize you. That's why you went to war with UWI. Hey, Jankra, move up down shit and talk to her like you think everybody had done slightly, am I right? out order. Talk to us like that. How you have the thing back way, so. But then again, if you got Cliff Party, you have to love back way, back way, back way.
So, Professor Young, thank you for that, again, well-written treatise. Every country has to play for their interest. And sometimes we don't do a good job in explaining to our population what are the interests. But one thing you will be assured of is that this government is going to ensure that Jamaica's best interests are always forefront in our minds, and we're always advocating and pursuing it. Which means that we must always have access and we must always be at the table. It's not always going to go our way, but we must always have access. We must always be able at some way, some level, to have the proper exercise of statecraft.
Don't know what the statecraft mean neither.
To exert influence through various forms of power. Even small countries have power. Some people just don't understand the new statecraft as to how you exert that and how you use that.
Prime Minister, what the statecraft way I talk about it, is it like an aircraft or Prime Minister, what it is? Because in academia, Prime Minister, when you talk to people about them something, you must simplify it for a 4-year-old Prime Minister. And even me, a 51-year-old, don't know what you're talking about. Because you tend to make up things in your mind sometime, and we don't know what you're talking about.
For us, for this administration, pursuing economic independence ultimately will result in your political independence.
I know so it go. I know so it go.
For many years, Jamaica has been diverted into all kinds of ideological fantasies.
What are they? What are they, John?
That resulted in us wandering in the wilderness of economic despair.
Seriously?
We will not do that again.
I don't know what you mean by that.
So when we
right now
are faced with these challenges, we are not afraid to go on the international stage to ensure we have access so that we can speak with credibility, because we have demonstrated that we are a responsible country with strong institutions. And so the result of that is that we were able to secure $6.7 billion in financing.
So no system me not lie. No system me not lie. Me not see double vision like my cousin Mary Linton. Me not hear things like the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister say, because we manage the thing well, why we achieve the economic independence of getting $6.7 billion to borrow. Jamaica, you know hear what the Prime Minister say? Or may I make it up? I can't believe this is real. The thing that's irritating though is the big buffoons sit down in the room clapping as confused as I am. Because he run things well, he get the money to borrow. Prime Minister, economic independence and borrowing of money. Well, 3 generations down the road, the Prime Minister will probably still be staggering with that debt. You will not be able, Prime Minister, to make the decisions to improve your economy without having the political independence to do so. If it is, Prime Minister, that the managerial system, that the IMF, the IMF approach, the managerial system that would be applied to a corrupt country as Jamaica, there would be no political independence when you have to make the decision based on what the IMF or the Americans say, because the piper, Andrew Holness, plays the tune, you see. So right now, this morning, me left baffled and confused. Oh, I don't know what you mean, Prime Minister. Even though you say they are respond to you, I have no idea what statecraft mean, what economic independence mean. Why is it that you're shying away from political independence? Why you want to continue to be a little ventriloquist? Because this whole thing about new geopolitics, me confused this too. Because geopolitics has been reverted, Prime Minister. It's not even that geopolitics has been improved. We're 80 years backwards in geopolitics. With the second coming of Donald Trump, we have gone 80 years backwards in geopolitics. Though it has never been much better, it's only that they used to tell us a cleaner lie, whereas Donald Trump decided not to tell us the lie. Donald Trump just decided to be the street bully and decided to carry out a street brawl. So we don't know. I honestly don't know what the Prime Minister talk about. Globalists, me can't do any better. Me left confused. I could just play one song and come back. God know me confused this morning.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen him. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. Big man.
The mouth of the wicked and deceitful Prime Minister has been opened against the people of Jamaica. But let me tell you something, Andrew Holness. You see the war where you declare pan way? Remember, Stephanie, come out of your mouth. My foot step right in the ring. Trust me. Because there is a reason why we have to keep this information war going. Because it is the same tactic you deployed against us. Information war. All of the things them wanna tell we, all of the things them wanna brief to the media. Those are the information war. When Floyd Green, who hasn't or cannot claim to be a lawyer, cannot read the Auditor General report, which suggests the corruption, the lack of transparency, the lack of governance and everything. What them something no corruption, Flight Green? Flight Green said the Auditor General report, nothing no corruption. Flight Green said the $870 million worth of contract and procurement document inadvertently lost. And them still, this is why me and them have to warp on Facebook, because them thing to say, because Facebook is the ground for the wahala between me and them. So that's why me ask you say, support me on that page, yeah? Because I saw the war there with me and the labor right them. Because Andrew Holness, we are not going to back down from this information war. Because when a government is prepared to deploy lies on us on a day-to-day basis, tell us deliberate lies and misinformation from in our parliament, in the media, Andrew Holness, it's going to be war out here. And to the labor rights, when you come to this page, Forbes GTV Antonio, it says in the profile, war room, be prepared for verbal violence when you come over there. Don't come over there and think it's going to be a walk in the park. The whole on know me not have the manners already. And then I push up in my face and I tell me, oh, you're so disrespectful. Why don't you keep out of my way? If me not like pitbull, if me in a park I walk and I see a pitbull, may I sit down. Come in and walk while the pitbull I walk. I can sit down and think, say, me about my business, I do my thing. Keep out of my way. For the no seminar on manners, keep out of my direction. Because it will be verbal violence between me and you. Out of the scuffles. Anyway, globalists, thank you very much for being here this morning. We're going to come back this evening. Yes. We'll probably come back a bit late because maybe part 2 to episode 4 should come out tonight. So we'll probably start about 11, whereby the time 11:30, because the premieres generally come out after midnight my time. So we can get to top into part 2. Part 2 of the Manchester Boys will be, I think, very interesting. Show how the friends of Manchester High destroy healthcare in our country. And you may want to ask, what on earth does Chris Tufton and Horace Chang, Darrell Vaz have on Andrew Holness? Why he can discipline people like Andrew Wheatley, Bobby Montague, Floyd Green, and others, but you dare not touch Dr. Chang. You dare not touch Chris Tufton or Darrell Vaz. What hammer is it, PM, that they've held over your head? Marcus Garvey said we should unite or perish. If party people don't see the means for uniting and be one voice and one community without political influence, you all shall perish or lose your land. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Little ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So justify and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way. Rastafari, war and cry, and do the righteousness. Hey, we love Jah, and we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari,
and we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, save all people.
Hey, we love Jah, we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari,
we love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and cry,
Fight down war and cry,
Rastafari, war and cry, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah,
Jah
and we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari, preserve all
and we love Jah. Me love Jah,
Jah
me love Jah.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
Me love Jah, Jah Rastafari, Jah
Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.